I woke up at like 2:22 in the morning, looked at the clock, pinched myself. I go, here we go again. It had happened so many times. I pull back the curtain and there was these two things, and obviously immediately I'm looking at them. I'm going, what the is that? And then I look down and they're floating, two of them around a tree. They looked humanoid, ghost white, square jaws with totally black eyes. And then I was shut off like that.
The Kid Carson Show is taped at Mindful Med Studio inside Conscious Lab, downtown Vancouver, Canada. Kid Carson Show. Al's been on the podcast, I think twice at least.
Twice, yeah.
Twice. I will never forget the first time we sat down and chatted. I was so terrified that I didn't sleep right for about 6 weeks, for real. Mm-hmm. And I think we went out for a beer afterwards.
Yes, we did.
Because I was so enthralled with what you had to say. And I was so freaked out that we went out for, I think we had a couple pints.
Yep.
And then I got home and I realized I accidentally tipped like 50 bucks. Yes, 50 or 100 bucks.
Nice of you.
As I was so nervous. I remember at that time I lived in a house where the basement was sort of, had a lot of windows that opened up to our backyard. And I had to walk by that area to shower because I did the morning radio show. I didn't want to wake up my family. So I'd be up at 3:30 in the morning and I would go downstairs and walking past that glass wall, I was literally terrified. I'm kind of laughing to myself as I scurry past the windows because I'm like, I'm a grown man. Like, what is going on here? Why am I so scared?
These things feed on fear too, by the way. So
yeah, well, that's great.
So if you're in a haunted house and you're freaking out, they even manifest more, right?
Yeah.
They feed on your fear.
But that's how much your story impacted me. You've been abducted many times.
Yeah, from childhood. The first time I saw something, I was 13, and then my sister saw me in the documentary, and she goes, it wasn't 1972, it was 1970, and the ships were different. And I said, where are you getting that from? She goes, I was on a hockey rink teaching you how to skate. And I go, I don't remember that at all. She goes, I didn't bring it up because you were so scared. It's like you've seen them before.
You've been on documentaries. You've been on a lot of big podcasts talking about your experience. You've met a lot of other people. Mm-hmm. You've met a shapeshifter.
Yep.
At least once. That woman, you've told me the story a couple times of her eyes sort of doing that.
Well, they went into the reptilian look, and there's many of them. There's many people walking amongst us. There's a book by David Jacobs. If you can find it, read that all these beings are walking amongst us that look identical to us. Identical.
Yeah. I've heard stories that they hang out in Vegas a lot.
I heard a couple of those stories. They're all over the place. Yeah. I mean, the old Russian president talked about the visitors and saying these things walk amongst us, and there's many of them in high places.
So what's new? What do you want to throw down for us?
Just
freak us out.
Okay.
Well, I don't live in a house with a wall window anymore, so
okay.
I'm going to be okay. When I get home, I'm going to be okay.
I don't blame you. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people. I did this other podcast. It was called Jan, the Miracle Hunter, and I gave this young lady, all this information. She goes, keep sending me more and more, and then she texts me one night. She goes, I've been thinking about all the stuff you sent me, and it's really creeping me out. And I go, no kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff is everywhere, and it's been here for a long time, but it is manifesting as we approach certain times in this world. I mean, when you hear Carney going, oh, we're New World Order or One World Order, that's in the Bible. It doesn't have it in those words. It says the world will be divided into 10 nations, ruled with an iron fist. Look the way the world's going.
I think of that actually, because I've heard that reference many times. I think about, when you talk about the states, acquiring parts of Greenland, and then the jokes being planted for part of Canada becoming like,
51st state.
The 51st state.
Those are threats.
Yeah, but there are stories and there are old ancient maps and things that are referenced in the Bible where they talk about, the seven or 10, I'm not an expert.
10.
10 kingdoms.
Yes.
The world will eventually be 10 kingdoms and not however many countries there are now.
Exactly.
They'll be joining. So I think, okay, maybe this is
It's real.
Something playing
We're
out.
watching this play out, all these different things in the Bible. I go to actually a very good church, and a lot of these churches are mucked up. It's a shame. But when you start reading scripture, especially in Daniel, him warning of what's coming, it says all these things, and they're playing out meticulously. Wonders in the sky. Men will faint from fear what is coming upon the earth. People will perish for lack of knowledge. I mean, things like that. And the weather changes. Look at the weather changes. These entities can control the weather. They're supernatural.
Well, humans can control the weather too, right? We're HARP and all that stuff.
And cloud seeding and right? Yeah.
Okay, so
it's getting disturbing.
What's happened recently? I know there's always something with you.
Oh, I know.
Because you got your finger on the pulse. Right?
I try and pay attention. I talk to a lot of people. L.A. Marzulli's one of my favorites. Tim Alberino, look him up.
You introduced me to Marzulli.
Yes.
And
you should
am I
chat
saying it
with
right?
him again.
Am I saying it right? Marzulli. Yeah, we had him on the podcast a couple years ago, thanks to your introduction. And yeah, he was great to talk to.
Well, he'll talk to you again. I mean, he's working nonstop. They just did a thing on the disclosure, which came out by the Pentagon. Now, the guy's name is Dan Farah. He did a 2-hour documentary and interviewed 35 different military government personnel, people from Skunk Works, all these high-level people, admirals from the Navy. What is Skunk Works? It's one of these places that back engineer some of these crashed ships.
Okay.
Right? And so it's pretty creepy. But he interviewed all these people, and on Joe Rogan of all, well, Joe Rogan's pretty good, but he went on Joe Rogan and said, yeah, we're disclosing a lot of the stuff that you can't ignore this stuff anymore. It's been hidden for about 80 years because they have no control of it. Now, for some reason, they're coming forward and bringing all these people on where you can't deny it when you're hearing an admiral saying their fleets are being shut down out in the middle of the ocean when a UFO shows up, coming out of the water. Everything is shut off and the ships are out there floating in the dark.
I'll admit I've been down too many rabbit holes, and I take it all with a grain of salt. So I tend to think that some of this information is being put out there on purpose.
Oh, it is. It's all managed.
It's managed, and that they're trying to... I think there are certain things that will eventually happen that have been predicted for forever. Like one will be... there'll be a fake story of there's a comet's going to hit Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so now we need to, and it'll be a big global issue, and all the people that live in a certain region, let's just say everyone on the west coast of Canada and the United States have to migrate east because the comet's going to hit in that area. And then they'll get us all in like a little bit of a more compact zoo area. Again, I don't know if any of this is true.
Most of this stuff is fear-based.
Right. But another one will be that there'll be a quote-unquote fake alien invasion where, okay, they're here, maybe they're evil, we need to band together as humans to fight them off, or they're here to help us, quote-unquote, or whatever it is. So having those crazy thoughts in my mind, I go, okay, when these admirals are being interviewed, when these different people are coming out and having a disclosure, is that part of the setup? Like, what do you think? Or do you think it's legit?
I personally believe, that's the other thing, this disclosure is coming out at a certain time where they can't hide it anymore. Now, why would they select one person like Dan Farah to be able to interview all these so-called whistleblowers through the Pentagon, through Lou Elizondo, people like that? But it was interesting when he was interviewed on Rogan. He said, I was going to put this in the first documentary, which is out. I think it's $20 to watch it, Age of Disclosure. He goes, I didn't put it in because I'm putting out another one on all the other things that are going on with this, and it's very nefarious and like pure evil, all the missing people, all the abductions, all the human and animal mutilations. And he went on Rogan and he said, everyone I interviewed for that documentary, all 34 or 35 people, had their houses haunted after the interview. It's on Joe Rogan. You can watch it. And he goes, I didn't want to put that in right away because we've got to take baby steps with this because it's really going to freak out a lot of people. And it will. So there's another one coming out on all the negativity from these things. So just think, These things that are called aliens are watchers. They're fallen watchers out of the Holy Bible. They posed as gods way, way long ago. Now they're posing as aliens. They're not aliens in any way or form.
So fallen watchers would be like fallen angels?
Yes.
Type thing?
Yeah.
So they posed as gods back in the day,
They posed as gods. They built all the pyramids. They're finding pyramids deep in the ocean where God flooded the earth to get rid of these things. It wasn't only human sin. These things were mixing human with animals. So Nephilim giants and other like monsters like dogmen, Sasquatch. And now they're manifesting again all over the world.
As aliens?
Well, aliens and these half-human, half-animal creatures. Like Sasquatch is being seen all over the place now.
Yeah, it's funny. Some of these
crazy.
things sound funny when you first hear them, but if you do go down rabbit holes and listen to various experts, you go, huh.
Or run into one. Run into one in the woods. It changes your life.
Man, you haven't run into a Sasquatch, though, have you?
No, but I've seen footage, actually video footage, out here in places like Stave Lake, Boston Bar. I met an individual that was actually going up to, is it called Hell's Gate? Up in Boston Bar? Hell's Gate or Devil's Gate? I think it's Hell's Gate.
Not sure.
He was showing me all these structures that these things create, and then he said he started bringing up apples and feeding these things. I've got crazy footage.
What?
Yes. I said, what are you doing? I go, you're opening the door to these things. It's just like opening the door to aliens through certain types of meditation. Channeling is a big one.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Feed them apples.
Feeding them apples. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I've heard other stories. I mean, when you hear that and then you hear it 2 or 3 times again in different places, like in the States from Canada, and you're going, well,
yeah, because you're in these circles.
Yeah.
So most of us, we hear about this stuff, but we don't interact with these circles of people. Like,
well, you don't absorb it. You go, oh, that's interesting, and then you blow it off, right? Unless it happens to you. Then it changes you.
Right, which it happened to you.
Yeah.
Being abducted those many times.
Just think, that long ago, all those things happened. Now nothing. Nothing.
Nothing has happened to you since?
No.
Yeah. How many times would you say you've been abducted?
Probably half a dozen. The ones I remember.
Yeah.
And then I had spiritual encounters with these things from Orbs and manifestations and hauntings. It's all coming from the same source. It's all satanic. All of it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And so what was that documentary you said to watch again?
Age of Disclosure.
Age of Disclosure.
Now, that came out. What came out? A trailer of a new a movie, not a documentary, by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah,
came out of retirement. And what's that called? Disclosure Day. What's the opening scene? The girl's possessed.
Yeah. Once you go down the Hollywood rabbit hole, like even the name Hollywood, Holy Wood, which is what they used to make magic wands out of to cast spells on people. Hollywood is to cast a spell on people. So just for people who maybe haven't put that together, I know you're down with it.
Yeah.
So once Hollywood comes out with something, like it was designed to
There's a reason for it.
Entertain, make money, yes, of course, but also to steer our psyches, right?
That's right. It's programming.
Programming, yeah, exactly.
So if you don't know about even the 2-minute trailer, I saw all these different things in it going, oh, the Roman Catholic Church. You see these nuns saying, oh, God created humans. There's got to be something else greater out there that he created. And one lady's holding a cross. And the girl being possessed, and then the hauntings, and all these animals noticing something very creepy going on, and it's almost like they're possessed. So you look, that's only 2 minutes long. There was something like 17 million hits on that 2-minute trailer. There's one coming out that's 5 minutes long. That movie will outdo any other movie that's ever made, and it's coming out in June. You watch.
So what do you gather the purpose of that movie would be, just from what you've seen in the trailer?
To program people that we're not alone and the stuff is going on. and the spin that they're going to put on it, which is not good. It's Hollywood, right?
Yeah. What do you think the spin might be? I mean, we obviously don't know what happens in the movie.
Oh, that there's probably good ones and bad ones, and the good ones are here to help us because the world's collapsing, economies are collapsing. I believe there's going to be huge food shortages coming up. I mean, all the stuff I'm saying is negative, but it is actually playing out right before our very eyes, right?
Yeah. And sometimes Hollywood movies they'll put a theme out there.
Oh, for sure.
So that when you discover, and the theme is actually true.
Yeah.
But then, you see when you hear about it in real life, you go, oh, that's from a movie.
I know. No kidding when you walk
So
out.
you dismiss it.
Oh.
But then I don't know, karma is the wrong word, but you sort of energetically or karmically give permission for these things to happen because you've been informed and told through entertainment, and you don't fight back. You know what I mean? There's that whole layer to it.
Well, look at the movie Predator. Mm-hmm. People are seeing that reptilian being hunting people. Hunters are seeing this
in real life.
In real life, like dozens and dozens and dozens.
Not the Predator was invisible.
Well, it can shapeshift, it can cloak, right? But you still see the outline of it. I look at Close Encounters, Spielberg's movie in '77. And during that time, that was near the end of my abductions. And I never watched the movie until later on. When I watched it, now with the stuff I know, I'm going, okay, Richard Dreyfuss was possessed, building a huge pyramid-like structure in his living room. That's not normal. And that place where the UFO landed was called Devil's Tower. I didn't know that. Then
in the movie, it's called that.
In the movie. Wow. Well, it's actually called Devil's Tower.
Yeah.
So it showed all these people coming off this UFO that went missing, like the pilots in 45. And it's supposed to be a good thing, holding the hands of the little gray beings, all this stuff. That's all programming. The Orbs, the hauntings. I just looked at it. Oh, yeah, it's just a movie. But it's actually real.
So you think that we might be being programmed to...
Definitely.
To think that these things are here to help us.
Yes.
But you're saying they're not here to help us.
None of them. Zero. You either put it this way, and it took me a long time to figure this out. The Holy Bible is real. The warnings are in there. You just have to read some of these warnings, and you'll just go, wow, that's happening, that's happening, that's happening. There's no other book like it. Jesus is real, and the thing with Jesus Christ is people that have had encounters with these, whether haunting spirits or even these Sasquatches or abductions, you can literally stop them in the name of Jesus Christ. People can listen to a guy, Joe Jordan, who's worked for MUFON, and he's done over 1,000 cases. And I actually talked to him years ago about what was happening to me. And he goes, there's so many people like you, and you can actually stop them. With the name of Jesus Christ, they fear that name. They literally fear that name. Why would aliens come all the way here and fear that name? Because they're not aliens.
They're fallen angels.
They're fallen angels.
Would you say demons?
Demons are disembodied spirits from the flood, from the Nephilim, and they're all around us, and they can go in people. That's why you have all these different people possessed, and then they say, oh, no, he's just schizophrenic. Or I shouldn't say just, but the person is schizophrenic. No, they have another spirit in them.
So you think demons and fallen angels are two separate things?
They are. They are too, but they come from the fallen angels because the fallen angels mated with humans. That's in Genesis, in the Holy Bible, the only book that tells you this stuff. That they mated with human women and created an offspring of these giants. And there were many of them, and God flooded the earth to get rid of them.
Yeah, they talk about giants in Genesis even.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even David and Goliath, that was after the flood, but there were still some left on the earth, and they're still around. We talked about that last time. They're in the Solomon Islands. They've killed a few up in Afghanistan and Pakistan. 6-digit fingers, like red hair, and big.
Yeah.
Really big.
Yeah. I kind of wish that, I believe in God.
Yes.
I'm still figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out because there's a lot of A lot of dogma mixed in there, and I'm trying to sort through it. And the deeper you go, the more confused you get sometimes. But I do believe there's a God. And when I was younger and going to church for a time, I wish they'd talk about like giants and like Nephilim.
And they don't.
And they don't. And I was
they don't talk about aliens either.
Yes,
most of them don't.
Man, if there was a church that just talked about that stuff, because I've listened to some experts on podcasts, like religious, quote unquote religious experts.
There's more and more coming out, kid.
Yeah,
more of them.
When they reveal like the surface level Bible and then the meanings beneath the surface, I go, whoa.
Understanding.
That makes it really interesting instead of a snooze fest.
Yeah. We're not left here in the dark. If you do your research, we weren't created just to mate and gather things. We're here to also understand who created us, who we should worship, right? It's just not that simple where people think, I'm only here for so long and that's it. And you live, you die, and that's it. Well, no.
Guys, what's up? Love that you're in the podcast. I want to talk about mindful meds for a sec. It's what thousands of people are using to boost their mental health. It's mushrooms. Some of them have like a mild, psychedelic in there. Some of them don't. This isn't to get high. This is a micro dose. 2 blends I got to tell you about. Brainbow is what people are using instead of antidepressants. It uses saffron. Go down that rabbit hole. You'll be mind blown. And Social Spark, the blend I helped to create, is a replacement for alcohol. Super happy to partner with them. So go to kidcarson.com/mindful meds to learn more. Back to this stuff being controlled,
right?
Like a disclosure being sort of rolled out through Hollywood, through interviews. A certain guy being chosen to interview all these admirals and people, and like it's obviously controlled in some way. Does this mean that these fallen angels have infiltrated the government or the people?
Yes.
Yes
and yes.
So the fallen angels themselves are putting this out because we know Hollywood's evil.
Oh, for sure.
So
music industry, Hollywood, and you look at some of these people. It's a shame. A lot of them have unclean spirits in them. They do.
Oh, you can just tell. You can just tell the before and after pictures.
I know.
Yeah, you go. They're just come out with their first album, and then 2 albums later, they're dressed up as a devil. And it's like,
I know. Okay. The more you look, it's like, he was right.
There's something going on there. Okay, so you think that the powers that be have been infiltrated, and they are themselves, the fallen angels themselves are slowly controlling the disclosure? Would that be fair to say?
I would say that because they know their time is short. Satan does. He's had a plan for a long time. He's infiltrated the military. Eisenhower came out, and I think in the 50s, mid-50s, he met supposedly several different types of races. The Greys, these other Nordic beings, didn't trust any of them. They do shapeshift, and he had an agreement with them. You give us technology. That's why some of these crashes were done on purpose, to give technology to humans for taking humans. And they said it was genetics and this and that. But you think of all the people that have gone missing off the face of the earth. It is, and these national parks, and they've hushed that. They have to. If the global elites can control something like what happened in 2020 through fear, that flu that came out, which was bad, can control through fear globally, and the propaganda machine. They've got to watch how they deal with this.
So you think that's going to be the same thing? Because if they're convincing us these people are good, they're here to help us, these fallen, these aliens are good, will this be twisted into another fear-controlled? Like, I'm just trying to piece it together in my mind. It's very confusing.
I'm waiting to hear, and to be honest with you, I don't trust any of these elites, obviously. Trump is another one. What's he going to tell us? What can he tell us? What is he allowed to tell us? Because the military-industrial complex, the cabal, control this planet. The planet is ruled by Satan. It says that right in the Holy Bible. So Satan knows his time is short. How is he going to play this out to deceive people? There's many ways. If we have shortages of food, maybe a nuclear war or something, a lot of people which are disappearing. If all this stuff comes out, it creates panic. Humans are predictable, right?
So there'll be situations created to create panic.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that too. I do think that everything is, I think the world's a stage.
How about a 2-mile-long craft hovering over a city for 3 or 4 hours? Mm-hmm. And then the way the internet works and the news and everything, that would get people's attention. Most people that, I don't know, they just live their lives and ignore most of this stuff, but it's coming where it's in your face. It's in your face. And this movie with Spielberg, that Disclosure movie, which is very interesting to watch when you hear some of these speakers. And to think that all of them had their homes haunted. Every single one of them.
Yeah, tell me about that. So they come on, they appear in this documentary.
Yeah.
Called Age of Disclosure.
Age of Disclosure.
Okay, and then they
every single one of them were telling Dan Farah, they go, after we disclosed what we said, and we were only allowed to say so much, it's all controlled. They said we were having orbs coming into our place, nightmares, people being attacked by orbs, or being attacked by something they can't see, all these people being, these violent bruises on them like they were hit with baseball bats. That the words Farah was using, people getting extremely ill in that, every single one of them. Another guy, when I heard that, I'm going, wow, because the guy from How to Hunt, which does all the stuff on Sasquatch, the views he gets, the comments, the people, he must have thousands and thousands of people that have been seeing these things. His place got haunted. And he's Mr. Tough Guy out in the woods, got all the guns and everything. He said blue orbs were coming into the house, black helicopters unmarked, flying over his property. He was sitting in the hot tub one night at midnight, and he had this overwhelming feeling of fear. And I know what that's about, where it's just overwhelming. And then it just went away like that. So they're watching him. He's seeing UFOs that are watching him. Some of these cryptoids or Bigfoot or whatever, watching him from behind trees, because when he's doing his podcast, not his podcast, his show, he's out in the woods. He has a camera set up that's looking at him. So what's behind him? He doesn't see what's behind him, and there's dozens, and I mean dozens, of people going, oh, you didn't see what was behind you? And he goes so many times, he's like, everything's gone quiet. That's another sign. Everything you don't hear. Insects, nothing. No birds, nothing. And you can see him looking around, and he's freaked out. So they're watching him, too.
Wow.
They're called the Watchers.
Interesting. Even in nature. Like
yes.
they say, like, when the big predator, the lion or the tiger or whatever, is kilometers away, and they start to enter the zone, they say if you're a human being and you notice the insects and the birds and everything go just...
This is different, though.
They just go quiet. But I'm saying it's
same type of thing.
That's we can watch that in a National Geographic thing.
Exactly.
And we know that's fact. That the jungle will just go silent.
I know. I've witnessed that. It's creepy.
So it makes sense if there's an entity that suddenly even the insects would just be whisper quiet.
And when these things just show up, everything goes quiet. And people go, oh, it's probably a cougar up in the tree. No. The fear that goes through you is off the charts. And I mean, there's been military people, hunters that have come forward, and I mean hundreds of them that have come forward saying, this stuff is like scared the you-know-what out of me.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, again, for some people might be rolling their eyes going, oh, this sounds crazy. Oh, their houses were haunted after they did this thing. Yeah. But I know of, personally, like 4 or 5 people that have done a mushroom ceremony type thing with someone who, let's just say, maybe is not acting in integrity,
right?
Spiritually a little mildly, spiritually a little bent, in some ways, maybe a little bit of witchcraft going on there, unknown to the people participating,
right? Oh, that's cool, and they do it,
and then something happens. They think they're doing this great thing, and then suddenly, and their lives, like 4 or 5 people I know personally, who their lives were temporarily destroyed.
Totally,
we're talking a crazy illness that puts them in the hospital. Yes, we're talking
just haunted,
just your life absolutely getting destroyed,
upside down,
getting physically ill, and not making the connection until
I know
you
hear
people,
it over and over.
People
again.
Talk to people and go,
yes, exactly.
Did you do your ceremony with this person?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
That's weird.
Yeah, like I won't even say the person's name. No. I don't want a hex put on me or something. I got to be careful with. So I get the fact that someone could, speak about something participate in an interview, speak about something, and then have some kind of spiritual attack.
They call these things hitchhikers now, because you can go to one of these, let's say a séance, you're playing with a Ouija board. I've heard it from mediums, tarot card readers. These things will follow you home. They're calling them hitchhikers, and they can haunt your house. So I'll tell you some other cases that are very disturbing. When that Age of Disclosure came out, they were talking about things that are coming up in the guy's next documentary. And one of them, because he had talked to a bunch of military people on these nuke bases in the States and also overseas in England, that some of these military guys, they'd be Marines on the security teams, going out to these areas where they're seeing these balls of light out in the woods, at the end of the runway, long runways. They'd send out these guys, they'd go missing for 5 hours, being found 20 miles away, outside their Jeep, naked, rolling around, all confused. One guy was holding the steering wheel in the Jeep, and they literally had to peel his hands off the steering wheel. They were in utter shock, and they were all put under hypnosis. So there's all these cases of these military guys, dozens and dozens and dozens of cases of interacting with these so-called aliens, having horrific things happen to them.
Jeez.
They had to keep that quiet. How do you tell the public that this stuff is going on, we have no control of it, unless you, more or less, and I say more than less, have the Holy Spirit in you? They can't go inside you. It's called born again and spirit filled. So if you're spirit filled with Jesus Christ in you, these things can't go inside you, and they know it. This stuff runs so deep, people are like, oh, whoa, that's too much, but start looking into it because time is short.
Yeah, spirit filled, I guess. That's interesting. Yeah. There's already someone in that spot. So you got to move on to the next guy.
That's right. And these things know it. They fear that name. They fear the name of Jesus Christ. Yeah.
What about, because the original name of Jesus wasn't Jesus? Wasn't it like Yahshua?
Oh, yeah, there's different names.
Yeah, so I guess...
Old texts, the Greek and Hebrew texts. I mean, the more you look into it, it is so interesting when you look into these texts. And most people go, well, what happened in the days of Noah will happen again. And people go, well, there was the flood, and Noah and his family survived. Excuse me, out of all the people on earth, that was the only people that survived. Think of that for a minute. It must have been so corrupt, so evil back then, and it said it will happen again. So that's telling me all these creatures that are manifesting, all the UFOs, the portals, these entities coming out of portals, all these people following false religions, the New Age culture, which is huge, especially in California and places like that. It's huge. They're channeling these things to open the door to them.
What do you think of? Because I've gone down rabbit holes that I don't even agree with.
Right.
You know, just because it's like my
it's like
my TMZ, right? It's like my entertainment tonight when I was a kid is now listening to podcasts with people going down wild rabbit holes. What about the original story of Adam and Eve? I'm not sure if you have any thoughts on this, or if you, because I've listened to one guy who talked about how, you know, the Garden of Eden was actually like a laboratory.
I don't believe that.
No. Do you think that the story of Adam and Eve
is real?
Is literal?
Yeah. We're created in God's image. So he created Adam and Eve was tempted in the garden with the serpent, the snake. It's like people, oh no, that's just folklore, all this stuff, you know, the little people and all this stuff is folklore. People are seeing these little fairies and little people all over the place. This world is so corrupt. Now, and people are like, and I understand if you haven't seen it, then why would you believe it? It's like, oh no, I don't have time for that. I got to pay my mortgage and you know, other things and live my life. But there's more to it. We weren't designed and put here just to collect things, right? And have families. That's all good, and having a good life. But this world is so corrupt now. You're seeing it's just endless, and the world is being dummied down. I hate saying that, but it has. You look.
Yeah, that's for sure. The clown show's in full effect.
The clown show is just everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Wow. Okay, so where's the silver lining here?
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I would bet my life on it.
Yeah.
And and the people I'd been directed to, I wish I knew this when I was younger. But I think certain people are given a gift and are directed to tell other people. I really believe that. The more you look into it, you'll go, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
When did you finally dive into that?
2008, after meeting that woman that shapeshifted her eyes, I got obviously totally creeped out. And all of a sudden, I met one person that was having this meetup group, went to the meetup group, met this Christian researcher that used to go to L'Abri College in Switzerland. It's a Christian college, very well versed on the old texts, Greek and Hebrew, the Holy Bible. Met him. He was getting involved in this UFO stuff. He was warning people. Then he led me to L.A. Marzulli. I've done about 10 podcasts. And
he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's one of the GOATs, right?
One of the best of the best.
Yeah. And he's a Christian guy.
A Christian guy, pastor. The guy's amazing. He's been doing this for a long time. L.A. Marzulli, every day you can watch his shows. People like Tim Alberino, another one that's a friend of L.A. It seems a lot of these people know each other, and they're getting the word out of what's going on to warn people. Don't be fearful, be knowledgeable. Right?
Yeah, because there's some stuff in the Bible, and I'm not an expert by any means, but there's some stuff that is just absolutely supernatural.
We live in a supernatural world. You walk on water. He died on the cross for all our sins. We're saved by grace and faith. And he died and rose again 3 days later. So he was dead and rose again, and people saw him. And he ascended to heaven, healing the sick, healing the blind. And casting out demons over and over again. Back then, he was casting out demons.
Yeah, sometimes I get lost in what's a metaphor and what's literal when it comes to the Bible. Because, and I know there's a lot of, I know it's such a trendy word to say misinformation, but there's so much stuff out there where okay, this story in the Bible actually means this. When they talk about...
Done on purpose to deceive you. As I said, if Satan rules this world, he doesn't want you believing in Jesus Christ. He wants you, especially nowadays... Don't worry about Jesus. On some of these ships, people are seeing the Christ, not Jesus Christ, the Christ with dreadlocks. I've talked to abductees, and they're seeing this alien called the Christ. And some of these abductees, and now I'm hearing this a lot, are asked to write books. There's one guy, Chris Bledsoe, who was a born-again, spirit-filled Christian, supposedly, that's what he said, from the South, very religious, family, church. He was going through a bad time. People need to look up this guy, Chris Bledsoe. He was going through a bad time, health problems. It was during the COVID thing. He went to this area and called out to God, not to Jesus Christ, because there's supposedly all these different gods, and these orbs started showing up. And he thought it was a miracle coming from Jesus Christ. Well, his church, his family was telling them that we're well-versed on this. No, these things are like disembodied spirits, orbs, stay away from them. Then he started seeing apparitions. All that stuff is fake stuff for people to be deceived. If you see an apparition of something, obviously it gets your attention, but where's it coming from?
Yeah, if something just appeared in front of me.
Yeah.
I
know. Here we go again. I know.
I'd be like, why wouldn't you think it's real?
I know.
Well,
it is real, but where is it coming from?
Where is it coming from? Yeah. It's kind of like if you dabble with psychics, which I did in my past.
So did I, yeah.
Well, you don't know what they're channeling.
Yeah, I know.
And you can get good information, bad information, and then...
you listen to the Stephen Greers of the world that channel these things. He does these chakras, these Buddhist meditation rituals that open the door to these things. He is literally possessed. He has spirit guides. A lot of these so-called researchers are just, now all they are storytellers. They tell stories about the light in the sky, people seeing these beings, this and that. They're good. that have, and these some of these researchers or so-called researchers have totally flip-flopped to what they were saying 20 years ago.
In what way? Like this Greer guy? What's his name again?
Stephen Greer is one of the worst of the worst. A lot of the good researchers know all about him.
He's been propped up as one of the groundbreaking disclosure guys, right? But I know he's tied in with like the government, and like, he's got a lot of friends in high places.
Oh yeah, there's no such thing as abductions. It's all military. These things have never harmed anyone. I'm like, really? And then people ask him, how about all the human and animal mutilations? They go, oh no, that's all military. The guy's nuts.
Oh, so he is saying these things are good.
Good. He's part of the deception.
And the abductions of people where they're mutilating doing
people
things
are the military.
The military, like in secret ships.
Yeah. It's just,
is that what he's saying?
Oh yeah, he's
for sure that's got to be happening.
Well,
right?
yeah, they have back engineered some of their craft,
right?
But humans are not supernatural in that way, where these things can move around, distort time and space. That's a fact, but they have supposedly back engineered some of these ships. Not the mile-long ships, that's for sure. Because
I've often wondered that. I'm like, some of these abductions and these things that you hear and see about are maybe just super advanced technology that
some of them are screen memories from these things saying your horrific abduction was good, where you're under hypnosis, and it depends who's putting you under hypnosis, saying, oh yeah, my experience was wonderful and this and that, and then you go under hypnosis from somebody that knows what they're doing, and your abduction experience is horrifying. So that's another thing. Satan is always trying to be one step ahead of people. So him and the watchers, the other fallen angels that watch over people, check out your reaction to what's happening. Oh, we can use that person to deceive people, get him to write a book. One of the books was called God and Aliens by Chris Bledsoe. Saying, God's an alien. No, he's not. God, the Almighty God is God, not an alien. And these things are not aliens. That's why you don't hear aliens in the Holy Bible. They're not aliens. They're liars. Who's the bearer of all lies? Satan. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really say people need to really start looking into this before it's in their face and they're panicking and why nobody told us about this. You got to do your homework on this stuff. Things are happening.
Wow.
To put it mildly.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Kid. If you're serious about getting known before AI makes personal branding almost impossible, you're going to love this. Step into a premium interview experience with Kid Carson. That's me. And collapse time on your growth. I'm going to tap into my network, skyrocket your exposure, and help the world fall in love with you. I really do pride myself on making you shine. That was always my favorite part of my radio days, having a new author in or having a local business owner in and just making them shine. I love getting the big names in here too, don't get me wrong. Joe Dispenza, 50 Cent, Eckhart Tolle. I got to interview Chip Wilson. That's amazing. But I'm also really obsessed with talking to the up-and-comers who know they have a powerful message for the world. So if that's you, go to kidcarson.com/promo. If your message can help this amazing community who listens to this podcast, then, this might just be a great fit. So hope to see you soon. Find the link to find out more in the show notes. And now back to the episode. You sent me a bunch of links that I haven't watched yet.
Some good ones.
Yeah, what are those? What am I in for when I watch these?
Well, I sent you the new one by David Pilates. It's called American Sasquatch. I watched some of it. He's saying stuff that I knew 20 years ago. He goes, well, aliens and UFOs and Sasquatch and UFOs don't mix. Well, they do, because that's where they're from. Even the RCMP were calling some of these things and the indigenous people Sasquatch ships, where these entities, these huge Sasquatches, are coming out of these ships. So in this new documentary, it's very well done. They've got some incredible footage. They've got incredible witnesses, indigenous trackers, native trackers, people from Skinwalker Ranch, and that's another place. If you want to know what's going on, you're just not watching the stupid show on TV on the History Channel. You listen to maybe George Knapp and a couple other people that live in that area. Everything is there. Mutilations, hauntings, portals opening up. What's the other thing? Hauntings, seeing UFOs. All the negative stuff is in that area. and that's haunted, cursed native land.
Okay, so yeah, some of these shows, like alien shows that are on, like if I see an alien,
Ancient aliens,
like if I watch an alien, I used to love that. I used to love
did
Ancient
too.
Aliens.
I
Man,
did,
back in the
it's
day.
eye candy.
Yeah, I used to love that.
Yeah.
It was like a Giorgio. He was a real meme for a while with his crazy hair. And he's like, aliens, it's aliens.
Yeah, everything's alien.
That was years back. That was a decade ago.
It's
That guy was everywhere.
21 years and still going to deceive people.
Is that show still on?
It's still on.
Ancient Aliens.
Yes.
Wow. When it first came out, it was huge.
I know.
I haven't even.
I
heard
watched
about
it. I go,
Yeah.
ooh, this now I get all my answers. No.
Yeah.
It's full of it.
So these alien like documentaries where they interview people, if it's on a show like a channel like the History Channel or Netflix or somewhere like that, it's probably bullcrap, right? Or it's
most of them, like 80% at least, are deception.
They're planting the idea that they want you to have of aliens.
That's right. They're here. Satan is here to deceive us, and believe me, he will deceive the masses.
Okay, what?
Sorry, kid.
That's all right. It's okay. My nicotine pouches are keeping me going.
Okay.
I just got into that recently. Okay, so what do you think the long-term goal is here with the slow drip of disclosure?
I think it's
controlled by the actual fallen angels themselves.
Yes.
We've established
deception.
What do you think is the play here over the next,
I want
in
to
our
know,
lifetime?
Yeah,
maybe.
I want to know. Well, it will be. I want to know where we are by 2030. The end game is the one world order or new world order, which will control everyone. Digital ID. People are going, oh, that will never happen. It's happening. They'll be able to monitor everything you do, how much you spend, right? And the end game is to put a chip in you called the mark of the beast. You get that chip, you are done.
Yeah, I've been a big proponent against digital ID. It's one of the things I mentioned on the air when I got fired that day. Because
well, you stood your ground. That's
people
good.
misunderstood what I was trying to say because I was a little ahead of my time.
Yep.
Whatever. So when you say if you get that chip, you're done.
You're done.
What does done mean? Like obviously you're a slave. I mean, you're a slave. You're a slave at that point.
Well, no, you'll end up in the pit. You're not redeemable. You get that chip, you're not human anymore because by getting that chip, they're going to say, oh, you'll be able to live another 200-300 years. You won't get sick. Everything's great. And some people are going to go, I mean, a lot of people are going, oh, that's wonderful. 200-300 years more. You get that. It genetically alters you where you're not human anymore. And you end up being in the pit. And that, I mean, there is hell inside the earth.
So you think it does something to your soul?
You're soulless. You're controlled by these things.
There's no Neuralink, and it's being pitched as the greatest thing ever. And as a guy who just loves tech, it was very hard for me to take my spiritual side and my love of technology and sort of figure out how I feel about all these different things. Obviously, I don't think I'd put a chip in my brain.
No,
but you know how they'll get you. Is that when my kids have kids and the other kids in whatever school is at that point, there won't be school, I'm sure, but it'll be like all the other kids are getting like the Neo update where they just get this program and suddenly they're geniuses.
Yeah.
And your kid doesn't have it.
Robots, all this stuff.
Yeah, and now your kid is the dumb kid.
Yeah.
And can't compete in whatever the world looks like. Parents will want to give their kid the chip. You know what I mean?
No, because
that's all they get you.
Doesn't make them bad, makes them ignorant of what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, all this stuff coming out, if you put it in a neat package and start looking more and more into it, it will give you the knowledge you need to know what to do, to know what's right, what's wrong, to follow the truth or follow the lie. It's that simple.
Yeah, society will definitely be split.
Well, it'll be
of the people with the chips and the people that are
look at it now. What's it going to be like in 5 to 10 years?
Yeah. I think it'll literally be people living in different areas. Like nuts. Right now, we are so divided and split that each side thinks the other side is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they've been saying for a couple of years now that even the cell phone is going to be such an archaic idea. Yeah, they say it'll be all in our bodies.
Yeah. No thanks. Bye-bye. Satan rules this world. Until people figure it out, what's going on, what's been going on for a long time, they're just going to ignore it until it's in their face. and humans panic. We know that. Unless you know the truth, I have no fear now. I'm comfortable whenever it's time. That's fine. But I follow, as far as I'm concerned, I follow the truth. Look into it. You go down so many rabbit holes and so much deception, and you listen to all these different people. It is confusing until you're awake to what's going on, and you can follow patterns saying, no, right away, that guy, no, I don't listen to him. He's saying this and this. Oh, aliens are good, and there might be some bad ones. No, they're all bad. I don't care what they look like. They shapeshift. Yeah,
there's been a lot of people coming out talking about shapeshifting lately. Like there was
Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, Billy Corgan.
Twice.
Is that his name?
Twice, not once, but twice.
Yeah, he talked about it once, and then in a follow-up interview with someone else, they said, "Okay, you said something crazy." I think it was on Stern.
Howard Stern.
And he's like, "You still think that?" It's been a couple years later. He's like, "Oh yeah, I wasn't bullcrapping." No. It's like, yeah.
He wrote a book though, and did the book get released, or was he told not to release it?
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, and then he said he saw the same girl that he had had some fun with or whatever. He saw her again, invited her to another party, and he's looking all over the place for her, walks in the room, and she's in bed with this other girl and turns around and looks at them, and her eyes went totally black. And he's like, "Ugh, I'm out of here." And he said that was that, obviously, with that girl, right?
Yeah, so, I don't care how hot you are. Yeah. Your eyes turn black.
You got a really nice personality, but you're possessed. No thanks, right?
Yeah. Got a really nice personality. Wow. Okay.
No, it's crazy. But as I said, this stuff is ramping up. You're hearing all these different whistleblowers. I was looking into, there's a movie coming out called Capel Green, which is in England, next to this nuclear military base that's run by the Americans. Well, now that you have whistleblowers coming out, they're all coming out in droves because most of them are threatened. We'll take your kids out, your family, we'll throw you in jail, no pension, blah, blah, blah. So now you're having more whistleblowers coming out. The ones in this case in England from 1980, you have dozens of people, high-ranking people saying, yeah, that base was nuts. People are getting possessed. People were going missing. The hauntings were crazy, and people were seeing what they thought were aliens, ships, portals, like left, right, and center. This one lady, she goes, and a few of them were saying they were seeing this 7-foot-tall mantis being. It looked like a praying mantis, but with a human body.
Yeah.
And then they
looked like a wait. How does that work?
Praying mantis, like an insect head with a muscular human body, another one of these hybrid things.
Wow. What a combo.
Imagine that would creep you out. You need a pretty big can of Raid to take that from you. But all these different people coming forward now from that base, and then I look into it and I go, some people are saying what caused that? It's all on pagan, haunted land from way back. England's one of the most oldest haunted places in the world. That area used to be full of sorcery. So it's all coming from the same source. These things manifest in these areas. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's patterns with all that, with the native land and curses. And
wow.
It's all coming from the same source.
Who are some of your favorite people to get information from?
Obviously, L.A. Marzulli, Tim Alberino, one of my favorites. If you want to look into these hybrid things, you look at David Jacobs. Who else is there? Those are three of my favorites. But watching shows like How to Hunt, the guy from How to Hunt is now waking up. He's saying things like "God bless you," and he's starting to realize this is very spiritual. The comments he gets, I always like reading comments to see what people think of the show that was just shown, right? To see if, are you awake, are you not? More and more people are talking about Jesus Christ and mentioning it to him, right? It's nuts. But he's a good one too. How to Hunt.
And where's that show?
He's on the island. I think he's up by Port Renfrew. You can see it on YouTube. Just look up How to Hunt. I mean, he's had, like you, he's had millions and millions of comments, over 10,000 emails from very credible people, a lot of military people, a lot of hunters that have had the you-know-what scared out of them. Like, yeah, that's a good show. That is a good show. And he's waking up, which is
Is it a YouTube show?
A YouTube show.
Yeah.
How to hunt.
Huh. How do some of these shows on like YouTube not get erased? Or
I know. Well,
like I go, okay, if it's real, how are they letting it not get censored?
What they do with a lot of these people is they try and haunt the hell out of them, these entities. And he's another one from the guy from How to Hunt, going after his wife when he's out in the field or hunting and that, and then she starts having these orbs going through the house and just an overwhelming feeling of fear, which is endless. I've heard that hundreds and hundreds of times. I would know it. I lived it, right? So
yeah.
And it seems like it was yesterday, but I have no fear anymore. Yet it started when I was a kid. That's like 55 years ago.
Yeah.
Think of that. How long ago that started with me.
Yeah, when you described the thing that freaked me out the most when we first met is when you said you described looking out the window.
Yes.
And they were like sort of like these, from my memory, and I could get this wrong, but they were like some grays or some kind of alien things that were sort of all circling around a tree.
Yeah.
Kind of like, in my mind, I remember it as they're all like holding hands and they're floating and
they were floating. I thought they were walking around a tree, but what they projected in my mind, they looked humanoid, but I'm sure they were the grays. And they made me open up the window or slide open the curtain. I woke up at like 2:22 in the morning, looked at the clock, pinched myself. I go, here we go again. It had happened so many times. Open the curtain, and I'm saying in my mind, no. And then you hear it again. It's not a voice, it's a command. I pull back the curtain, and there was these two things. And obviously, immediately I'm looking at them. I'm going, what the is that? And then I look down, and they're floating, two of them around a tree. They looked humanoid, ghost white, square jaws with totally black eyes. And then I was shut off like that. The next thing, that's at 2:02 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, I'm dropped on my couch. Did I go through the ceiling? That's another thing. You go through windows, walls, ceilings. I had wet my pants and just shaking violently. And there's many cases like that. You start going back and hearing these cases of people from way back when, and they're identical to yours. Identical. And
that's when I couldn't walk past my sliding glass door.
Sorry about that.
For 6 weeks. There's that story.
Oh, I know.
Because you went
creepy.
You went into more detail when we went out for beer later on after our interview.
It makes a haunting look like a picnic, the abductions.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a few of them where everyone's smiling and the Space Brothers came and got us, and it's very deceiving with some of these people that don't believe in God. They know what you believe in, and they select people to deceive others. It's a shame, and most of these people are like super nice people. I mean,
and then it's never happened since.
Nothing. I've seen ships, but that's with other people because I live in an area where it's a hotspot. These things live inside the earth, cored out mountains. That's the other thing, an age of disclosure. I knew this 30 years ago. They said we're monitoring 5 or 6 different deep ocean areas out in these oceans around the world where these things are coming out sometimes by the 100. And they know they're there in these deep ocean bases. Off of Puerto Rico, Devil's Triangle or Bermuda Triangle. Off of Japan, the Devil's Sea. You know, that's another thing. If you're going camping with your kids, don't go to Devil's Plateau or Devil's Lake. There's a reason why they're called that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
Bring the kids. No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Who are the top people that you see in the public facing, famous people that you feel like, okay, you are an absolute sham? I mean, I think if you're that famous, you're obviously controlled, and you're an actor.
On. Yeah,
you're playing your role. Well, that's my own personal view.
I agree 100%. They sell their souls to the devil. You have, and it's good that people like some of these music people that literally said they sold, Bob Dylan is one of them, that said, I sold my soul to the devil. These three little entities used to come in my room and download things into me to make me famous and that. Now he's a born-again, spirit-filled Christian. There's a bunch of them. There's more and more people from Hollywood that are coming out saying they've turned to Christianity. There's a bunch of them. Val Kilmer is another one. There's a bunch of them. Look it up. People can look that up and say, wow, that guy changed his tune, or that lady changed her tune. There's way more going on in this world than you think.
Yeah, there was that one Justin Bieber video where they put it in slow motion.
I know, but he's playing the piano and starts talking about how Jesus saved him.
Yeah, but because the video a couple years previous to that was, I forget what song it was, but it's like he's standing there and there's like all these flashing images all around him, like scribbly lines and graffiti and stuff. And people are watching it back in slow motion, and some of the still shots of what your human eye wouldn't see in real time.
Yeah.
But you put it in...
Creepy?
Oh, man. It's the most evil stuff.
I know.
And I'm like, this is Justin Bieber,
Yeah.
who now has come out and... You know, whether it's the real deal or not.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga is another one. She hasn't come out yet. Hopefully she does. So everyone has a chance to wake up.
You think Lady Gaga's going Christianity?
No, I hope she does, though, because she was saying she was haunted so many times at night. She'd have one of her helpers cleaning the house and that stay in her room with her at night because she was so scared.
Really?
She still and she still hasn't figured out what's going on. These things, the more they control you, the harder it is to get these spirits out of you. And some of them have so many unclean spirits in them. I mean, that's why you look at serial killers. They're hard to catch. They're always one step ahead. They have other spirits in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, I've gone down the rabbit hole of big famous YouTubers, and they talk about, these young kids who they want to, it's the number one dream for kids in terms of occupation is like to become a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's not lawyer or doctor.
No. I know.
It's to become
what
a
a
YouTuber.
changed world.
And they have these parties in LA, these big mansions. And if you get to a certain point, you're on the cusp of, you got a big following and you're cool enough to get invited to these certain, mansion parties.
Yeah. Wow.
And then you get in there and then you go through different rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to go in this room. You got to do something that's a little bit sketchy. And the people that do it get to go to the next room. And I forget, there was one guy who talked about it. And you finally get to room number 7, and they don't tell you what you have to do, but you have to do something pretty nefarious.
Pretty naughty. But now that you mentioned
naughty.
rooms,
really naughty.
Epstein's Island.
Right.
One of the girls that came out, and she goes, "You're going to think I'm nuts." And I'm going, that caught my attention right away. She goes, "I would be led by Epstein to this certain room that would be very dark and cold." She goes, when he was having sex with me, when he came to his climax, she said his face would shapeshift into a devil.
Wow,
you
really?
You can look that up.
Really?
Yeah.
Is Epstein dead or what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I believe so.
I thought he's just so powerful that he was snuck out the back door.
No, he's not out there with Elvis and Hitler.
No? Oh,
no, he was another one possessed. And was he fully human? No, because of the things he did. How do you go around in life doing things like that? We all have a conscience. Something takes it over. Greed is one of them. Power. Yeah.
Interesting.
Fallen world.
Yeah.
Fallen.
Well, dude, is there anything else? You've said everything that could possibly be said.
No, we did it. Yeah, it was good. We'll see where
another
we
banger,
are.
buddy. Another banger.
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. Good to see you. And the thing is, as this stuff progresses, don't forget me. We'll hook up again, and I'll tell you the latest, the stuff I know, the stuff. I'm not going to tell you things I don't know. I'll tell you the things and what I'm hearing from other people that I trust 100%.
Yeah.
Right?
Can people even get a hold of you?
No.
Okay.
No,
listen.
I have enough people getting a hold of me.
Don't ask me. You can't get a hold of Al.
They can get a hold of you if it's something like somebody's having abduction problems, and then you can get a hold of me, and then...
Okay, that'd be cool. I can put you in contact with people once you do a little... make sure they're not,
Because you're going to get... You'll have, you have two sides of the aisle. You'll have people saying, oh, he's nuts, and there's no such thing as that. And then you'll have other people saying, yeah, I've had all these strange things. I've talked to other people. So that's the way it is. That's the way it works in this fallen world.
Al Matthews. Al, thank you very much, buddy.
Okay,
You're the best.
My pleasure.
Awesome.